So I didn't know that VRSF actually sold an intercooler for the Z4 E89 that includes the silicone hoses that attach straight to the charge pipe, so you can get rid of the plastic upper charge pipe and the lower charge pipe, because there are two pieces for the charge air system in the Z4. So you got the upper and lower. So this silicone hose replaces that whole thing, and you guys will see what I'm talking about once I show you. The other option that I did know of right away, which is super expensive, is the Wagner Tuning intercooler kit, which is the same thing, just made by the company Wagner Tuning, and that kit goes for about $1,000, whereas this VRSF kit goes for $500, and this is for the 5-inch. And really, unless you're trying to go crazy for crazy horsepower, you only need a 5-inch intercooler if your goal is around 500 or even maybe 600 horsepower. So I opted out for the 5-inch, and that's why I only spent about $500. So I'll show you guys what this looks like, how it hooks up. This should be a pretty simple video and straightforward, just because I've done this before and everything's already removed from the car. So you guys can reference my original video where I did the intercooler, but I did a universal one from Amazon just because I didn't want to go with Wagner Tuning. So for disassembly, you can reference that video, which will make it easier for you guys. But just for installing this VRSF intercooler, we're going to start with all of those parts removed, just because, as you guys know, I've been working on a single turbo top mount conversion on the Z4. So right now I'm at that step where I'm just putting everything back together, and I just need to install the intercooler and some other parts like the electric fan to get it all finished up. So enough of that, let's look at the intercooler. So the intercooler here is a step version. Don't mind the Sheepy Race logo that I just put on there, but here we go. It looks pretty standard, nothing fancy. It looks like my cheap Amazon one, but whatever. The main reason that I went with this one is because of the silicone hoses. As you can see, this hose is very intricate and specific to the Z4, and you'll see once we install that. As for this hose, we're not going to be using because I'm single turbo, but this would hook up directly to the other side of the intercooler system, and this would go to your turbos. But I have this one right here from SpeedTech that'll connect to the pipe that goes to the turbo itself. So that's why I have this on there. But it's good to get these on there before I install the intercooler. It just makes it easier. So there you have it. Nothing too complicated, pretty straightforward. We'll pop this into the Z4 and I'll show you how everything's routed. But here you have the holes for the mounting screws, and they're self-tapping screws that go into the shroud, or the shroud for the electric fan, which you guys will see. But yeah, let's get this popped on. And just like that, the intercooler is installed here on the vehicle. And I just want to show you guys how the silicone hoses are oriented, just so you guys can see for an easier process of installation. So you can see here that in order for it to line up properly with the charge pipe on the Z4, you want to have the VRSF logo here facing down slightly to the right, and that lines it up perfectly to connect with the charge pipe. And then on this side, because I am single turboed, I have my SpeedTech silicone coupler, so that is just straight towards my cold side charge pipe that goes into the single turbo. So you can see I have that there. Now if you were OEM, this would go into your twin turbos, so the cold side charge pipe on this side. So nothing too crazy, except the mounting holes over here. That was a pain in the ass. You kind of have to force that. It's possible, but you're going to be forcing it in. Just make sure it's centered and lined up so that you don't break anything. But I'll go ahead and show you guys on the top side what it looks like and how it's oriented up there. Here we have the charge pipe coming from the aluminum manifold here. And if you can see, it goes straight down into the silicone hose. that comes from the intercooler, and you can kind of see how my clamp is orientated. So that one, I tightened it from the bottom, and same with the other clamp that you guys saw earlier for the VRSF silicone hose. That one I tightened from the bottom, but you can see how intricate that hose is when I showed you guys in the beginning of the video. It's molded specifically for the Z4, so that is important. I have an Evolution Raceworks charge pipe, so that made it a little different. It still worked, but you can see that the hose isn't fully on. It's still enough that I had enough of the pipe to clamp down, but I think with the VRSF charge pipe, you won't have any problems at all. So just make sure if you're buying it all together, get the VRSF charge pipe. As for me, I have this Evolution Raceworks one. And then just so you guys can see, some of you might be curious, here's my single turbo twin scroll here. And there is my SpeedTech silicone coupler into the cold side charge pipe, which goes down in the intercooler. So now backing up here, you can see the intercooler. It's a 5.5 inch, nothing too crazy. I'm not looking to push an insane amount of power, so it's perfect for this, and it saves you a little bit of money. That does it for this video. I hope you guys found this video useful and just showing another option as opposed to the Wagner tuning intercooler kit. Save some money if you have the Z4 and put it towards other things like a single turbo conversion. So if you have any questions, let me know down below, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side.